Progress Racing presents Show Us Your Tips Midweek Preview. Daggy and Beaver with you to look towards racing at Canterbury and Sale. A bit of rain around everywhere, so we'll see how we go throughout the programs. Beaver, how did the weekend treat you? Or us, I suppose?
Yeah, it wasn't a bad weekend at all, Daggy. I think we probably got enough winners to finish in front, which was nice. Yeah, not a bad day overall.
Yeah, no, it was good. If I just randomly didn't decide not to back Mooberers, it would have been a good weekend. But anyway,
Yes,
you've tried and
you
tried.
found a good winner there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we did a bit of analysis, and we certainly found that there was enough winners on the day between us boys for the punters to finish well in front, and that's good news.
Hopefully, see how we go. We've got a big weekend coming up to Stradbroke weekend, so that should be a lot of fun. So that'll be up Thursday night. But for now, let's get into. We'll start at Canterbury, where it currently is listed as still as soft. Fair bit of rain around where we are in the last couple of hours, but I don't know if there's much more forecast. So I've treated it as soft. Rail in the. Where are we here? Rail. We watch for on pace around the 3 metre mark, I believe. 3 metres the entire, about 5.41 penno. So watch for on pace as usual. I guess standard Canterbury. Not much more to reanalyze in terms of the track.
Yeah, it's not a great day's racing, and already hit by a few scratchings. So relatively small fields from what I can see, Daggy. So hopefully we can narrow it down even further and come out with a few winners. But plenty of chances in most races.
Let's kick off with the 2-year-olds over the 1100 metres. You may as well lead us away, Beaver.
Yeah, again, pretty open market here. Sort of $3 to $12 across the field. So a really open betting affair. Most haven't had a start or only a couple of starts. I went with probably the top weight Mirror. It's had some good form in some good company races and returns now for next its next foray into the racing. Raced in some really good races. Went to Gold Coast. Was a bit disappointing up there, but prior to that, had some form around horses like 4 Moves Ahead and the likes there. So I think if it runs up to what it showed last prep, and it's shinned up enough for a first up tilt, then it could be hard to beat. Obviously, with a watch on some of the unraced ones.
Yeah, pretty much with you. I don't think I have a bet. There's still a few question marks, but I think the scratching actually probably helped Mirror. There's a little bit less pressure. I think it gets its own way in front, and the trial's what you'd expect. It's going to be on pace in Canterbury, and you hit on all the points with the form lines in the first prep. I mentioned last week Fangirl. I like a couple of the trials heading into Saturday. So for me, that's probably the main danger. Favorite Dragonstone was ridden out, but probably showed what it had in the trials. I wasn't completely blown away, but looked all right. But yeah, I'm with you there, Mirror from Fangirl with all the advantages up front. Race 2, another 1100 metre maiden, this time for 2 and 3-year-olds. And nothing much really to talk about outside the market. I think this Ibrakaki looks like a decent horse. The trials have been fantastic, and there's nothing in this field that is going to give it much of a. The only concern would have been a wet track, but I don't think it's even going to get to that. So this should just cruise around and win.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Missed a bit of the start last trial, but it looks to have plenty of talent.
Yeah, I think you're right there. It does look to have plenty of talent, and this is a pretty average race with the ones that have run have shown nothing at all. So there's something missed in the untried outside of the trials of Ibaraki, it should be winning.
Race 3 is the 3-year-old Nup Maiden now, the 1250. Some more scratchings here. Look, I didn't want to find Silly Point in this race, and then I end up sort of having it on top, so I don't know what that really means. It's going to get back. It's going to probably need a little bit of luck, but its runs down south has been okay in Midweek company, and some of that form stacked up throughout. Your Snappers and your Johnny Angels have won since at Midweek level. That said, it's not a race I really want to bet into either. What about you?
Yeah, probably a little bit along the same lines as you. There is only 6 horses in it, and the outside of the field is hundreds. So there's 5 genuine chances here. So, like in running, shouldn't be too difficult with all of these getting a chance. Silly Point's form down south appears to be good enough for a race like this, and the fact they've brought it to Sydney is a good pointer. So probably Silly Point on front, given that of the other raced ones, it looks to have the best form.
Race 4 is the 1100 metres for the mares, which is a 4-year-old nut benchmark 72. Estrado's come out. How'd you line these up?
Yeah, look, I've actually thought Iris Angel was probably one of the better bets of the day. Yeah, I just really like it. Trialled well without being extended. Prior to that, had a really nice win at Randwick against Najma, which we know has got a bit of an ability. And prior to that, was only a couple of lengths off Lost and Running. And I'd expect that if Lost and Running was running in this race, it'd be tens on, and you'd expect it wouldn't be 6 or more. So those form lines for me, Irish Angel just lines up here and looks a sensational bet at $3.10. Yeah.
Obviously best horse, and gate 1 probably means it's not far away, probably sits right on leader's back. I initially went with Turnstile coming back from Saturday grade just because there's no pace here. It gets control. Nash has had a tick over trial since its Saturday run where it didn't do a great deal, but on pace in mare's grade.
It was awful.
Yeah, so the tick over trial since, which again probably didn't show a lot, but just going more with potential track pattern. If you can run on, I think you're right with what you said about Irish Angel. The question mark I had was Gin and Bitters. How'd you line that up from that Queensland form? I say it's drifted since.
Yeah, look, yeah, it's hard to get a line on the Queensland form. Coming back down to Sydney, look, it was okay form.
Yeah, Patches and Needorp, you've had a bit to do with over the time we've done the show.
Yeah, it won really well, beating Patches, who's got a bit of ability, and then wasn't far off Pull Anchor in a race where it was fancied and trialled well enough. I'd have to see it first, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just think Iris Angel, the form lines that it has is far more appealing, and it's got 3 kilo pull in the weights to those horses as well. So I just think, I think it's a good bet.
And even going back further, right back, the Marway form's in there as well. So, yeah, well done, Beaver. Like what you've done there. Race 5, 1100 metre benchmark 70. It's just 1100 metre land tomorrow. Another 1100 metre benchmark 72. What do you do with some of these geldings?
Yeah, look, similar here. You've got a 6-horse field with the outsider or a rank outsider. I've gone for Stoical. I thought its first up win at Hawkesbury was very good. It was well found in the market, but just ruled him in, and it was a really, really good win. I think it's another really nice bet here. And so Tommy Berry aboard, looks to get the right run and can be the hardest to beat.
This race is pretty much a reverse of the girls here, whereas I've sort of let the Fast Coney with J-Mac, hoping it's a bit closer from the leader, which gets map advantage, which is Stoical. Similar to the last one, this time actually with Fast Coney, even though it hasn't won this prep, it's going okay. I think slightly back in distance might go okay. And Hawkesbury form, I don't even know what it is anymore. But we'll lead on Canterbury. We'll know by this stage track pattern, and I suggest that'll say which way the market starts in this race. Whoever starts favourite, it's probably going to be very hard to beat.
100%.
Race number 6 is another 72 over the 1550. Probably the race of the day. I'm going to give Canadian Spice the track and distance set up here. To roll forward again, I would hope. I know it's outside gate, so hopefully it runs. But Tommy Berry doesn't tend to mess around. Rode it pretty well last time, had a little bit in hand, and I don't think there's many chases here. I'm hoping Dylan's Romance not a pest. The rest of them, they're just horses. Acrophobics had every possible chance at Kensington and got beaten there. And just think down in the weights, 3-odd filly against the some of the older horses here, it'll be very hard to get past.
Yeah, I thought exactly the same. I was hoping Canadian Spice would jump and roll forward, control the lead, control the pace, kick on the corner and be too hard to catch. And with the pull in the weights, I'm hoping Tommy can pull the right reins here. So I've gone exactly the same way with you. I think Canadian Spice could be the horse to beat in this race.
Race number 7, 1,900 meters to wrap up the day. Another 72. Do you want to lead us away? The Waller and the Kieran Maher horse come out, as does Raptures. So
yeah, tough race to end the day. You wouldn't want to be looking and desperate for a winner here. I've gone for a bit of value here in number 12, Nothing Compares. Thought its second up run down at, where was it? Sapphire Coast. It was down south. Was pretty good, led and was really hard to catch. Won by 4 lengths and had plenty in hand. Look, it gets 2 kilo claim. It's got nothing on its back tomorrow with 53. Again, hopefully it can go forward and be tricky to catch in what is a really open race. I like it. The 5, One More Sapphire. Thought it could run a nice race as well and be hard to beat.
I was going to go with, I don't like the race at all, but the 2, if I was going to have to play, would be So Wicked, the track specialist. Gate 14, either will be scratched or will lead this up. Dropping back in grade from the Chasing Mooberers for that. A decent enough race with Avian Fury, Parry Sound there. And around the $13 mark would be one way I'd look to play the race. The other one, Betty Bloom's just the mare off the win. I know it beat Acrophobic, who I've just potted, and Bethencourt, who probably showed itself up to be a myth last time, but I think she's going right, and I like the way Keegan Latham is riding, so double figures for both of them. For me to wrap the day up, not a overly keen Wednesday afternoon for us tomorrow, Beaver, but have you got a best and a value?
Yeah, my best comes up is Irish Angel. So I thought it was going to be the hardest to beat. Race 4, number 7. J Mac aboard, Waller trained. And then my value bet comes up in the last, race 7, number 12, Nothing Compares.
Oh, I feel dirty doing this, but I think Ibrakaki will win. I think that's got a lap on the horses racing. And value So Wicked in the and we'll say One More Spice too, just because you're rolling your eyes at me at $1.80 chance. One More Spice will run well. And So Wicked around $13 will be of some value in the last. We'll head down to Sale, where the rain's coming. It's predicted about 80 mil tomorrow. So I guess we're treading carefully. We'll watch the scratchings in the morning. I don't have a lot early in the card. Where did you want to kick off?
Yeah, the race 1 I left maidens over 2,200.
Yeah.
In wet conditions. That's a bit of a boat race. And the second was really, really hard to line these up. If you're looking at a bet here, you've probably got to lean towards the 11 Art of Flying from the Mar Eustace stable. But again, it's his strong gate 20. So, I can't get too keen on anything in the first 2 races. What about you?
No, look, it's $1.50 now, but race 3, number 10, if it runs, Veriskova was a nice enough debut chasing Written Miss, who obviously went to town and has performed quite well since. $1.50, what's that all mean? I didn't like anything in the first 2 races beyond that, like for the reasons you've said. Plus, you're potentially throwing in a heavy track here, so even less confidence. But we'll roll forward. Race 4. You had a lot of the ones in the market here or got beat up last start, so I couldn't line up that well. Did you have any opinion here?
Yeah, no, similarly here, another really, really tough race, open market. I thought Urelli did it, number 3, from the Urel stable.
Yep.
I thought it could run well again, finished second behind 4 Leaf Riots. a fair way off it last start, but it
Yes.
was a heavy track, handled it okay. I think it would be further improved by that. And Four Leaf Right ran quite well in town on the weekend. So for me, that's not bad form for a race like this. That's which way I'm leaning at the moment.
No, fair enough. Race 5, I'll try and have some input here. The benchmark 64 over the 22:30. And I thought, well, a lot of the favourites are a month between runs, so didn't have a great deal of confidence. I think Air of the Throne's probably the best horse. Obviously, it's top weight. So run well. I thought the other chance has been scratched, so never mind. Epsom Days was a great bet at $19, but it's not here now, so it doesn't matter. At least that was on a quickish backup. But now those chances are out. I don't have a lot else to offer here. Paddy Payne knows how to get these Kiwi stayers going in the wet, so will be a chance as well. Did you ever thought in the staying race?
Yeah, I liked the Paddy Payne train to slip into this. I thought it chased really well at Bendigo last start over the 2200. Only just missed My Rock Alley, who's going well, and a good little horse on the way up. Form prior to that has been pretty good. Won nicely at Etuka over the 2100, pretty comfortably. And then prior to that, had some nice form on probably less than suitable distances. So 2200 suits it. Paddy Payne's flying and drawn well to run well. Should handle the going okay as well.
Race number 6 is a Class 1 over the 1200 metres, where we see the city winner. I'm Thunderstruck coming back to the Class 1. I'm on a roll here today, tipping odds on these, but it'll be hard to beat. I'm Thunderstruck. Much better than this class. We'll probably go back to town afterwards. We'll see if it even turns up if it's too wet. Debuted nicely in town, then ran well behind Poland in the lead up to the Guineas. I think Lucky Shams, the overs there around the 20s. It'll improve on its first up run. It's got a little bit of ability, but not much more analysis for me to provide there. What about yourself?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm Thunderstruck looks probably the best bet on the card and should be winning.
Race 7 is the 64 over the 1700 metres. Again, I'll lean towards a favourite, but I think Face Mask's going all right here. Been chasing home a couple better each time, but I think out to 700 will suit. It's a grey in the wet, so it will run well again in a less than inspiring race. Do you like anything else?
Yeah, I do. I like Prasada. I think everything lines up well for Prasada as long as they can run on from back in the field. Last few starts, it's been hitting the line very well. Finished off nicely last start from back in the field. That was on soft going, so shouldn't have any problems with the track conditions or the sting out of the ground. Drops the level in class here, so comes back in class and gets the winkers on for the first time. So hopefully all of those things lines up for Prasada to run well.
And to wrap up the day, we've got another 64 this time over the 1400 and change. How are you going to wrap the day up?
Yeah, look, again, another tricky affair. I was just hoping Sky Wolf can run well again. Third up, I think it's right at its peak fitness now. Won well first start, wasn't disgraced last start. Drawn well, could run well in another open affair. Main danger, the stager.
Yeah, I had Skyolf on top. We talked about it last time, but I thought it was very good. Getting nabbed late by Bermudez there, and a bit of control here. Hopefully, gets through the wet all right with the keeper feeds. I don't know how well they're going to it actually, but I had Skyolf on top as well around a $6.50 mark. Thought it was a good bet there, and I didn't really have much of an opinion on the rest of the race. Tadashi Amadi, you done with it now?
Yeah, gone.
Yeah, showed up, and I don't think the wet's going to help it. So, Skywolf on top there. We'll wrap up our day at Sale, Beaver. I'll make my best. I'm Thunderstruck if it runs, and I was with Skywolf as its value if it runs. So, what about you?
Yeah, I've gone for I'm Thunderstruck as also my best. Concur there, mates. And my value bet comes up in race 7, number 2, Prasada, around the 650 mark.
We head up north. You got anything up there for us?
Yes, I had a couple up north at the Sunshine Coast. So hopefully, yeah, it'll be a bit of a soft track up there as well. My first bet that I liked comes up in race, let me just go to my notes, race 3, number 2, Indispensable. The Southern Horse from Victoria, now up in Sunshine Coast.
Is that a
I think
Pruska
it'll
horse?
be really hard to beat in the third. Yes.
You found another one.
Ex-Pruska horse.
Good work. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's taken. They've gone up there now in the Duncan stable. It'll be hard to beat. Another really nice bet. Race 5, number 1, Goldsborough. Going well at the moment. Third up. First 2 runs this spell have been really good. And then race 6, number 7, Designs. Should be winning. Back down in dropping in class here from the Freedman stable. So I think we've got 3 really nice bets there.
Yeah, nice. I think it might be the place to bet up there actually tomorrow. Now you've said that.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Nice work, Beaver. We'll be back on Thursday night with a look at the Stradbroke, and hopefully I'll give a bit more input than some odds on pops. Until then, check out progroupracing.com.au. Good luck tomorrow, punters, and we will talk to everyone shortly.